Welcome to NetFit.tv. We're here to help motivate and dedicate you to living a healthy and vibrant lifestyle. My name is Chelsea and I'll be leading today's practice. On my left is Megan and on my right is Carl. Please work at your own pace, making any necessary modifications or variations of the pose, never pushing past your edge. And today we'll be working with accepting challenges with embrace, without frustration. So again, just work at your edge without tipping over. Let's see what happens. Please join me at the top of your mat. When you find this place, allow your big toe, your little toe, and your heels to be grounded. The knees will be soft and your shoulders will be relaxed. The hands can come to your heart center as you begin to allow your attention to focus inside. A nice full breath cycle. And as you breathe in, let's sweep the arms all the way up and overhead, a gentle back arch. Exhale and swan dive all the way down into the forward bend. You can look between the calves, stepping back with the right foot into a lunge, as deep or as shallow as you'd like to go. You can have your right foot a little closer toward the right edge of the mat, and when you have your stability, we're going to inhale, lifting the hands away from the floor, coming into Warrior One. Feel the upper thigh wrapping around that bone, sliding up the leg. We're going to use the core, and from this Warrior One pose, we're going to open up into Warrior Two. So turn your back heel down. Let the arms be parallel with the floor. The left knee is opening and stacking directly over the heel. Now relax the shoulders. As we move into an archer's pose, we're going to bring the back hand to the back leg, the forward hand toward the sky. You can stay and hang out here, or you can turn your chin to look at that back heel. You can even bring the left arm alongside of the left ear, keeping that left knee open and your abdominals engaged. Let's go ahead and bring that left forearm to the left thigh. The right hand can lift toward the sky or come alongside of the right ear. If you want to go a step further, we can move into a bound pose by bringing the right hand to the sacrum. That left hand will slip under to the left hip, rolling that right shoulder open as you gaze over it. Take one deep breath here. Remember that if you don't want to go here, you can keep that left forearm supported on the left thigh. Let's go ahead and inhale, coming right back up into Warrior Two. And then we're about to transition back into Warrior One. As you breathe in, make any necessary adjustments with the arms, the heels, feeling that forward knee stacked directly over the heel. You're doing a great job. Take an inhale. Exhale and bring the hands down to the floor. We're going to step that back foot forward into the forward bend. Feel that release. You've been working hard. So as you breathe in again, we're going to come all the way up into the mountain pose, leading with your chest, using your core. As the arms come all the way up and overhead, exhale into the chair pose. As you find the chair pose, there's different modifications. So you notice Megan has her arms here parallel with the floor. This is absolutely perfect. Relax the shoulders. You'll notice that Carl has his arms alongside of the ears. Just stay and breathe wherever you'd like. And as you breathe in, come back up into the mountain pose. And exhale, and let's dive back down. We'll do the other side. So looking between the calves where you're going to step that left foot and step it to that spot. As you feel that left foot a little closer toward the left edge, use your core to lift the hands away from the floor. Coming all the way up into Warrior One, feeling that upper thigh active, the core engaged, and the heart is open. Let's go ahead and transition into Warrior Two. You can turn your back heel down. The arms are parallel with the floor. Now, if you ever have any shoulder issues, you can always bring the hands to the sacrum, keeping the shoulders rolled open here. Let's move into Archer's pose. So bringing the back hand to the back leg, forward hand up toward the sky. And if you want to turn the chin to look down at that back heel, you can. If your forward leg ever gets tired, you can straighten it, arch over just a little more, and then we'll bring that right forearm to the right thigh. That left arm can reach up toward the sky. It can also come alongside of the ear. Now remember, you can stay and hang out right here, or if you want to come into the bound pose, just to try it, bring that left hand to the sacrum. That right hand can come toward the floor and bend up toward the right hip, rolling that left shoulder open. Take 2 breaths. And when you're ready to come out, you can always slowly release, coming right back up into Warrior Two. Relax the shoulders, soften the gaze. Notice if you have the brows all furrowed, soften. And then we're going to turn, coming right back into Warrior One. Make any adjustments. Maybe that heel is lifted, the core once again engaged, the heart is open. Breathe in. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the floor. Stepping that forward foot, the back foot forward. There you go. A nice forward bend as you release. Releasing the spine, allowing gravity to do all of the work. And we're about to come all the way up as you breathe in. Lead with your chest, using your core. And we're going to move right back into chair pose. Bending the knees. The arms are parallel with the floor or alongside of the ears. You can even go a step further by lifting your heels. Keep the chest open. And as you breathe in, pressing back up, releasing the hands to your heart. We're going to go ahead and step the left foot back, coming into 5-pointed star. When you find 5-pointed star, you want your legs to be about a leg's length distance apart. Your arms can either be parallel or at the sacrum. We'll move into a wide angle twist. So exhale and just hinge halfway. Your heart is somewhere near parallel with the floor as the crown reaches forward and the tailbone reaches back. Let's go ahead and bring the right hand to the floor, fingers pointed toward the left toes, the left hand to the sacrum. Finally, through the spine, and as you exhale, begin to roll your left shoulder open. You can turn your chin toward it. You can even add the left arm, reaching up toward the sky, only if this is okay with your shoulder. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let's fold down, folding all the way into this wide angle forward bend. And then as you breathe in, let's come back up into 5-pointed star. We'll prepare to do the other side. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, hinging, finding the crown reaching forward. You can bring the left hand to the floor, fingers pointed toward the right toes, right hand to the sacrum. Take an inhale, finding length. And as you exhale, begin to roll your right shoulder open. You can turn your chin toward it. Now, depending on your body, you can lift that right arm toward the sky. But if you lose any rotation, leave that hand at the sacrum. Either way, take an inhale. And as you exhale, rounding down, you can fold. If you want to hold the ankles, you can. You want to look toward the wall behind you. Just keep the eyes soft, and we're about to come back up into 5-pointed star. So leading with your chest, coming back up into 5-pointed star. Now what we're going to do is release the hands down. We're about to go into a really more rotated of a twist. So first thing we're going to do is turn the right toes at a 90-degree angle. Your back heel can move out just a bit. Then we're going to rotate the hips all the way around to facing forward. Since your right foot is forward, we're going to bring that right hand to the sacrum and inhale your left hand toward the sky. Relax the shoulders, taking an inhale across the chest, and as you exhale, begin to hinge about halfway. If you want to stay and hang out here, you can. If you want to bring that left hand to the top of the left leg, you can. Or maybe it comes all the way to the floor. Now begin to roll that right shoulder open. Depends on your balance. You can also lift that right hand toward the sky. 2 deep breaths, finding focus, embracing the challenge with acceptance. And then as you exhale, bring that right hand back to the sacrum, folding down. And as you breathe in, let's lift up. Maybe that left arm lifts all the way alongside of the ear. A gentle back arch. Exhale that left hand down to the sacrum. Now let's rotate the feet all the way around so that the left toes are at a 90-degree angle. The right heel is out. As you breathe in, sweep that right arm toward the sky, a gentle back arch. As you exhale, hinging. Maybe you come down and stay at halfway, placing that right hand either on the top of the left leg, the left foot, or on the floor. As you find length through the spine, begin to roll that left shoulder open. And if you would like to lift that left hand toward the sky, you can. 2 deep breath cycles. When you are ready to release, you can always bring that left hand to the sacrum, using the body with the breath to fold down and the abdominals engage on the inhale to lift all the way up. And let's go ahead and exhale, coming back to center, releasing that right hand down. Let's come to the top of your mat as you breathe in. So this is a great stopping place where you can come and refocus inward. What if we try a balance? Balance is changed from day to day and is different from the left foot to the right foot. So we're going to try Ardha Chandrasana balance, or a half moon pose. So what we're going to do is step out wide once again, 5-pointed star. Hands can be at a T position. As you turn your right toes at a 90-degree angle, your left heel out just a bit. Take an in-breath, and as you exhale, bend that forward knee. Warrior 2. Then we're going to begin to bring that right hand down to the floor or to a block if needed. Shifting the weight into the forward foot, that back leg can float away. You can lift that left hand toward the sky, or it can come to the sacrum. You can stay 2 breaths. Your body will tell you when it's time to come out. And whenever it does, slowly lower the back foot down, passing through Warrior 2 and into 5-pointed star. You can always release the hands to the sacrum. You did it. All you have is one other side to do. Let's see what happens. You can turn your left toes at a 90-degree angle, the right heel out. Inhaling the arms to a T position, exhaling into Warrior 2. Soften your gaze, unclench the jaw. And as you exhale, begin to bring that left hand down to the floor, shifting the weight into the left foot. That right leg can float away. You can lift the right hand toward the sky, gazing up or gazing down. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lower that back foot down, passing through Warrior 2 and coming into 5-pointed star. Let's close again at the top of the mat. Mountain pose, a gentle back arch. Exhale and swan dive all the way down. Let's inhale and come up halfway, pressing the shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, fold down a little deeper, and then you can either hop or step the feet back into plank position. Now, if you're ever moving into side plank and you need to bring a knee down, you can. But we're going to begin to shift the weight into the right hand, rolling toward the right side. You can lift the left hand toward the sky. You can hang out here. You can even lift the left leg away from the right. And anytime your body says enough, you can come back into plank pose. Depending on the upper body strength, you can even add a push-up in between if you'd like. Let's move the weight into the left hand. Rolling over, lifting the right hand toward the sky. Again, if you want to lift that right leg away, a breath or two, knowing you can always come back into plank position. When you find this place, take an inhale, and as you exhale, how slowly can you lower the body down to the floor, coming belly down. Now, if you ever have any back issues, you may want to pad your hips, maybe even with a few extra supports, like a blanket or something to protect the lower back, keeping compression out. So, your hands are going to be alongside of your hips. The palms are facing down. Your chin can be on the floor, Your forehead can be on the floor. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to Carl and to Megan and show you some of the postures we're going to be moving into belly down. How about boat pose? So if you notice, Megan is going to begin to press down through her midsection. The abdominals, the pubic bone presses down into the floor. As you breathe in, lift the head and the chest, but leave the hands on the floor. Notice how the shoulders roll open and slide down. You're reaching through the crown. As you exhale, slowly lower back to the floor. If you want to go a step further, as you breathe in, you can lift your head, your chest, even your hands can float away. It's not about how high you lift your hands, it's where you can reach them back. Exhale and slowly release back down to the floor. You're doing a great job. Stay with your breath. As you inhale, lifting your head, your chest, your hands can float away, your feet can float away. Now, depending on the level of intensity you want to work with, you can even bring your hands out to a T position or even alongside of the ears, wherever you choose to be. If it's too far, come back. You can always exhale and release all the way down. You're doing a great job. Let's go ahead and move a little deeper. A little counter pose. By placing the hands under the shoulders, we're going to tuck the toes under. And how slowly can you press the body up into downward facing dog? Use your abdominal muscles. Your heels gently pressing down. The fingertips are grounded as the tailbone reaches up. You can walk your heels. This is an inversion. It's a back release. And another great place to really focus inward. Let's come back to a belly down posture again. So you can come forward through plank position, and you can exhale, slowly lowering down to the floor. When you find this place, we're going to take it a step further by moving into a pose called bird pose. So let's see what happens. Your hands are alongside of your hips. Palms are facing down. Now again, as you exhale, you press down through the midsection of the body. Using the abdominal muscles, let's lift the head, the chest, the arms, and the legs, just like we did before in boat pose. But this time, as you breathe in again, widen the arms to a T position. Let the ankles widen as well. As you exhale, everything comes back into place. You can continue moving in and out, or you can lower down each time. As Carl is demonstrating, he's bringing his arms all the way overhead. You can work with a level of intensity that makes it an enjoyable challenge. Accepting that challenge with an embrace. Stay as long as you'd like, finding your edge, and then relax all the way down. And with every back arch, with every lateral pose, with every twist, we always need a counter pose. Again, our counter pose is going to be downward facing dog. So you can come up into tabletop position. You can tuck the toes under and lift the hips high. If you just want to press the hips straight up, you definitely can. Feeling that extension. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, let's bring the knees down. And we're going to adjust to come into a wide angle seated position. Now, what I like to do as I come into wide angle poses is sit a little bit further back so that my heels are supported by the mat and they're not grinding into the floor. Now, if you come into this pose and you find, oh, it's really hard to sit up, then take a blanket and you can fold it up and place it under the hips if needed. But as you find this place, see if you can use your core, stretching and lengthening through the spine, the crown pressing toward the sky, the tailbone relaxing toward the floor. Now, what if we inhale the arms out to a T position? Palms can face the sky. There you go. Now let's exhale and hinge just enough to keep a flat back. Feel the tailbone grounded as the heart presses forward. Now, if you want to relax the hands down to the ankles, you can fold all the way down. Feel the release through the legs. And then you can use your core. Open your chest. As you breathe in, begin to sit all the way up. Now a little lateral stretch. We're going to place the left hand in front of the left knee with the palm facing the sky. The right hand is going to come to the sacrum. Beginning to roll that right shoulder open, you can even gaze over it. And as you exhale, you can slide that left hand down toward the left ankle, maybe gazing toward the toes. It doesn't matter how far down you go. It's where you feel the stretch along the rib cage, still trying to press down through that right sitting bone. If you want to go a little further, you can lift that right hand toward the sky. You can even arch over alongside of the ear. Depending on your body, you can grab the toe, rolling the shoulder open, and taking a breath or two. Let's try the other side. Inhaling through the middle. You can bring the right hand in front of the right knee, palm facing up, that left shoulder rolling open. And as you exhale, begin to slide the right fingers toward the right heel. If you'd like to lift that left hand up, you can, even bringing it alongside of the ear, depending on how far over your body wants to go. Take a deep breath, and then as you breathe in again, let's go ahead and inhale, sitting all the way up, hands out to a T position, and we're gonna hinge once again, about halfway, lengthening, and then maybe you hold the ankles, rounding all the way down. As you breathe in, lift the head, the chest, rolling the shoulders open, using the core, sitting all the way up. Now, we've been working with wide angle postures, so let's go ahead and move toward a twist. We'll turn and face the top of the mat, and we're gonna bring the right heel toward the left hip. You can cross the left ankle over the right knee. Now, if you find that this is just a little too deep for you, you can always straighten out that right leg or uncross the left. So we're gonna move into this seated twist. Hugging the left knee in toward the body, relax the shoulders down. Inhale and lift your left arm in front of you. And as you exhale, you can sweep that left hand all the way around behind the back, fingertips grounded. Finally through the spine before you twist. And then as you exhale, you can begin rolling that left shoulder open. You can keep the right hand where it is. It can cradle the left leg, or it can be on the outside of the left knee. As you breathe in, find a little more length through the spine. As you exhale, relax a little deeper. And as you breathe in again, we're going to slowly unwind, finding the chin to turn toward the right side, the waist, the ribs, unwinding the legs, and then we'll bring the left foot toward the right hip, crossing the right ankle over the left knee. Hugging that right knee in as you sit a little taller, drawing the shoulders down the back. You can inhale the right arm in front, exhaling it behind the back. Again, finally, and as you exhale, begin twisting vertebra by vertebra. Twisting around, wringing out all of the toxins. Making any adjustments. You're not pushing or pulling. You're just being. Accepting the challenges, open. And as you breathe in again, slowly unwinding, coming back to center. We're gonna uncross the legs and just folding down over the legs. Here's your forward bend. You might even wanna rock a little side to side. This is releasing the spine. And then we always want to pose or find a posture that is symmetrical as we begin to close your practice. So we're going to move into a posture called the hip lift. As you roll the back to the floor, your heels are directly under your knees. Your arms are at your sides. As you exhale, feel how the lower back flattens into the mat, squeezing the navel toward the backbone. And as you breathe in, feel the pubic bone tilt toward the chin, peeling away your lower, your middle, your upper back, pressing the hips toward the sky. If your knees open wide, actively press them toward one another, even though they're not touching. And as you exhale, reverse down the upper, the middle, the lower spine. Let's move in and out 4 more times. Inhaling up slowly, feeling the core engaged and the heart open. Exhale and reverse back down. Inhaling up when you're ready. Always moving at your own pace. never pushing past your edge. Now, as you move in and out of this pose, you might even want to lift your heels just a little as you reverse out. It gives you a little bit of leverage so that you can find that rotation of the spine. It's called undulation, which is a wave-like movement. When you complete this hip lift, we're going to be moving into the most important and sometimes the most challenging posture of all of yoga, relaxation. So you can always extend your legs out along the floor. If you ever have any lower back issues, you can pad the knees with a blanket. Your hands at your sides, allowing the palms to face the sky. Feeling the shoulders roll open and relax. Your jaw is unclenched. The muscles throughout the face are smooth and relaxed. As you release through the brow area and up into the forehead, go ahead and take a deep breath and release with a sigh. And let thoughts drift by as if they were floating on a cloud. Nothing else matters at this moment, but consciously letting go, as if the earth contours around your body. Stay here as long as you'd like. When you're ready to begin moving, notice the rise and fall of the chest and belly as you breathe in deeply and release the breath fully. You can begin to wiggle the fingers, the toes, circling the wrists and the ankles. Maybe you bring the knees into a tuck and rock a little, moving the hips within the sockets. Anytime you're ready to roll to one side, you can find your way up to a nice seated position. Now, no matter where we are in life, we always find little challenges. Do you meet those challenges head on, trying to force your way into something? Or do you take it with acceptance and find ways that it can work best for you? You can have your practice on and off of the mat. Thank you so much for practicing with us.